Oh, you ain't know what that was? Oh, that's doo-doo, baby.
Hey, have men ever thought about telling you how they feel while it's happening? You know you guys can do that, right? Like if you're having a feeling like in the moment, you can just say it.
So I just took a stroll through the comment section of that video, and there are thousands of men, and I mean thousands, commenting the same thing. Well, whenever we share our feelings with women, we end up having to apologize for how we feel, or those feelings are thrown in our face later on. Putting aside that the patriarchy hasn't really taught men to...
You already know, she just brought up the patriarchy. Anytime someone speak about patriarchy, you know you about to be triggered. I'm gonna let you talk though. Let's keep it going.
To have the best delivery when expressing things that they're upset about. While it may be a hard pill to swallow, you are never guaranteed receptiveness or kindness for being vulnerable or honest, but at the same time, a healthy relationship still requires vulnerability and honesty. I mean, think about it. When women express their emotions to men, they're dismissed, gaslit, judged, criticized, condescended to, or even yelled at.
Coming from what you just said is crazy. We're in a country where you can be charged for a crime without evidence. Literally, there is people fighting cases of women saying that something happened to them 15 years ago. I made that number up, so do not get triggered. But it's been a while ago. It's been a while ago, and I hate your hair.
But they still do it anyway. They continue to bring up issues that are bothering them until they're blue in the face, regardless of their partner's reaction. And when they see that the communicating is no longer working, they get tired and eventually leave. Something I think that
women leave men more than men leave women. What are you talking about? You are so triggering. I hate your mermaid hair, and you got too much makeup on. I know your eyebrows aren't real. Let's keep it going.
Men should work on developing going into 2024 is some emotional resilience and, dare I say, a thicker skin. Because if women can continue to date and be vulnerable with people who barely see them as human beings, then what's y'all's real excuse?
Did you just say men barely see women as human beings? What are you talking about? There is tidal waves of simps. Wait, give me a second. Tidal waves of simps. There are so many simps everywhere, and you gonna say that? Nobody should have to deal with this. Nobody should have to deal with this person who looks like they're going to be on the movie The Labyrinth. She looks like a character off The Labyrinth.
Hey, have men ever thought about telling you how they feel while it's happening?
So the comment section on this one has been very interesting. Side note, Yvette, I'm sorry your boyfriend broke up with you, but the content you've been producing as a result has been fire.
The fact that she said that, I already know she's about to trigger me so much.
That broken heart into art, babe. But there's two prominent responses I've been seeing. The first from women, myself included, being that men are often not socialized to adequately express their emotions, often due to internalized misogyny that associates feelings with femininity and femininity with weakness. And
she used misogyny. So many words, so many YouTube words I keep hearing. This is a rubber band on my finger. If it got on your nerves, I'll take it off. I apologize. So many YouTube words. She looks like she's supposed to hang out with feminists. She looks like she takes really good care of that space between her eyebrows, because there's a lot of space. You could put a goddamn couch between her eyebrows. Let's keep it going.
Second from men is, well, whenever I express myself, it's weaponized against me. My feelings are dismissed. Or worse, I'm told to be a man, stop whining, suck it up. Though I've learned to just keep quiet because it's only going to lead to a fight. And aside from the fact that both so many men and women have not had healthy conflict resolution and effective communication modeled for them, I think it's important to acknowledge all the ways in which patriarchy and toxic masculinity are informing both men and women's perspectives here.
Patriarchy, these words, they can't stop themselves. It's literally, look at the name of her TikTok. Text with doo-doo men. Oh, I would talk about your teeth, but I don't want to go there. I'd rather go at your nose. You have the longest nose ever. Her nose kind of look like mine's.
2 hours later.
I would talk about your teeth, but I don't want to do that to you. So I'd rather talk about why are your eyes so big? You look like a Disney character.
Now, there's a podcast I've been a guest on a few times. I haven't really promoted it here because the host and most of its viewers have a lot of conservative right-wing views. Well,
you probably called them racist. That's what she did. She called them racist and sexist. I know your kind. I know her kind. Her kind does that. They always do it. Because another thing that their kind like to do is dye their hair and put too much makeup on and call themselves, they describe themselves. Is it describe or, they identify as talking cats or something like that. Let's keep it going.
while I obviously disagree with them, I think it's important to have those conversations as long as everyone remains respectful, and they usually have. But the last time I was on, it was genuinely disturbing for me how many of these men believed crying in front of their partners was a sign of weakness. They believed
it is a sign of weakness. What are you talking about? When you're crying, you are at your weak point. If you have a friend who is deleted, you are at a weak state right there. And the fact that you're like a person who's crying is not in a weak state, at least state of mind. Now we can tell why you do what you do to your life. And that microphone you got going to your mouth, I think that only costs like $10. I just want to point that out.
that vulnerability was incompatible with masculinity, and they were teaching their sons not to cry in front of women because it meant women wouldn't respect them. And they're insisting
I think that's true. I think women won't respect them for that.
a man can't be vulnerable. He can't let his guard down. He has to be ready to give his life for his woman at any minute. Sir, we are not outrunning saber-toothed tigers on the regular anymore. And
But you are outrunning men who like to take cookies. You are outrunning that. I guess you would want your guy to still save you from that.
while we're on the subject, recent studies show that among our hunter-gatherer ancestors, women were doing the hunting too, okay? We weren't relying on men.
Nobody cares about you hunting squirrels or chickens or something like that. They're talking about things that can actually turn around, look at you and say, if you run over here to me, I'm going to you up. You and your little homies going to get up.
Men to save us any more than we do now. But what world do you live in the 21st century where you are constantly in fight or flight mode? What kind of toxic stress are you enduring on a daily basis? Because maybe you would feel better if you talked to someone about that in a safe space.
Anybody who you say space is crazy ain't coming from a person who probably supports the idea of women saying that when they go to college, they are in a great culture. How is that not? How is that not you being in a fight or flight mode at all times? There's people who go to the club and believe the club is an unsafe place, so they lock arms. I'm talking about people with breasticles, lock arms and go to the bathroom together. How about you just not be there? Y'all could have just been home drinking your wine.
One of these men genuinely believed I was lying when I said I would not have a problem with my partner crying in front of me. In fact, I would encourage it. Because if you can't open up to your partner when you're struggling, who can you go to? I would be more upset if he felt like he couldn't cry in front of me. But to this guy, no, that's all cap. He actually believed I would.
Don't you ever listen to a full-grown adult use the word cap. I never listen to those. That is the most triggering thing in the world to me when you are above the age 30 using that word. I ain't gonna lie to you, I kind of don't even want 25-year-olds using it, but I let it slide. When you are a full-grown adult using words that we actually seen get made while we were adults, you're crazy. Unless she has the face of a 40-year-old and she's 22, I don't want to hear that coming out of her mouth. But she already said it.
Was hurting men's prospects in the dating market by telling them this. But honey, if that's the state of mind y'all are trapped in, you are not the men I would ever want to date. And they're like, oh, so if he came to you ugly, snot-nosed crying, that wouldn't turn you off? No, if anything, that would deepen our relationship and make me love him more. I'd give him my shoulder to lean on and then the best comfort sex of his life. The only thing.
Oh, wow. Are you telling me that she gets turned on by men crying? That's what it sounds like. I might be painting a narrative, but I'm not trying to. Sound like she said when he cries it gets her vajayjay wet. Now you tell me, watch this, flip this. As a guy, if you get turned on by women crying, what would we call that guy? It rhymes with grape, but I guess you can call him a grapist. You get it, like that's what it rhymes with. She said that, not me. She said it. You heard it. Let's keep it going.
Thing that's making me go dry right now is how many of you still adhere to this outdated, dehumanizing rhetoric. And I straight up told them how sorry I was that they'd never felt safe enough to cry or be vulnerable with their loved ones. Because I know for a fact there are women out there who will shame men for being sensitive and shedding a tear over genuine things. Not talking about a dude who throws a hissy fit when his fantasy football team loses or punches holes in the walls because anger is the only emotion they're comfortable with. I'm talking.
Oh, that's crazy. You want them to show you only one emotion. You want them just to show sadness. Why can't you be on this side when they show anger? You know when I get upset when Jimmy Butler misses the last 3-point shot at the end of the game, I get upset. I get upset. And I'd be happy if my lady is right beside me and say, yeah, man, I can't believe he did that. They should trade him. Right? They should trade him. But guess what? You just want me to cry. That's all. You just want me to lay my head in your lap and cry, which is weird. I think it's just because you get turned on from it. Your words, not mine.
Talking about men who have cried when a loved one is on their deathbed and their girlfriend told them to suck it up. And I feel very lucky to have men in my life who have unlearned those stigmas and have a much healthier relationship with their masculinity.
I'm pretty sure all those guys she's talking about don't have muscles. And they love to dress like they always go to Urban Outfitters, I bet.
I love hanging out with those guys. The emotional intelligence they exhibit, while still very much enjoying shit men do, is such a shining example of what healthy masculinity can look like. But
do you know if majority of men had this so-called emotional intelligence that they keep talking about? Because what emotional intelligence really is not what y'all keep talking about. Y'all just talking about people who express it like at a high level. Emotional intelligence would be a man. Technically, it's a pimp. A person that understands your emotion and can use it to benefit themselves. That's a pimp. When I hear women say they want a man with emotional intelligence, all I keep hearing is that they want more pimps walking around.
toxic masculinity is a prison, and so many men and women are trapped there, and we all suffer for it. So if we want better communication and better understanding in our relationships, we all have some implicit biases and internalized misogyny to unlearn.
I will never understand why people like her and her other friend like to use that word misogyny so much. The real misogynists would be guys who don't want to dip inside of wet vajayjay. You know, that's just what I think it is. That's just what I think it is. They triggered me. I just wanted to do this video real fast. I hope you liked this video. If you haven't already, hit the like button and subscribe. And if you want to watch more videos like this, you should go watch my shorts or hit the notification bell so you'll know when another video coming out.